All right. Another live stream rehearsal practice. I'm in the middle of watching a video. One of Abu Naz's videos. I think it's he shot it on the 22nd of April. At the Abu Naz Rehabilitation Center, some health spa. That man, I'll tell you something. He has insight. He definitely has insight. BB-8, I do not appreciate your tone. He has insight. What did I say? There's a lot. There's a lot to learn from this man. I left a comment there on his video. What did I say? Astute. Very astute analysis, I think. Yeah. The title of this live stream, Know Your Role. Basically, it's something that Cecil talked about. I don't know, was it in his first live stream or it was in some video that he shot recently? He was talking about C3PO and he talks about C3PO and yeah, it's kind of humorous and it is what it is. Without trying to fucking, it's like explaining a joke, but there's some real knowledge and experience in what he talks in. So he talks about C3PO. Another guy, another fucking profound individual, and when you can deliver profundity, in a like a comedic fashion, in a comical driver, or use comedy as a conduit. If you can successfully use comedy when you're and humor when you're talking about a subject, especially we'll say a subject of import, that's profound. That's a capability. That's a capacity few people really have, but a lot of people understand and acknowledge and recognize and respect. A lot of people outside of the fucking frantic circles, call them SJWs, call them fucking maybe right wingers. Anyone outside of the extremist bracket gets that and respects that and understands that. Just a quick weather update, actually. Talking about the Baron of Cloud City. We haven't seen clouds around in fucking a long time. Whoa. Oh, shit. Hold on. What we're seeing here now, we're seeing clouds rolling in. This is kind of standard for this part of the world, for the Dingle Peninsula. Oh, it's starting to rain. I felt a drop. Go close the windows, taking a towel. Actually, I should make this into a thumbnail. Yeah, it's good to get some fucking respite though, because we're running out of water. Ireland is running out of water. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Yeah, Ireland running out of water. Talk about insane 2018. But you know, this will be nice. I don't think it'll stay long. I'd say it'll, you know, last a day, maybe. But we could do with it, to be honest with you. It's no harm to get a bit of fucking moisture every now and again. This is kind of like a test stream. More really kind of a rehearsal, I suppose. Get some practice in. Yeah. Get some practice in. I don't really have much to share right now. I have a lot to say. Oh, your role. I don't know what the fuck my role is. I do and I don't. I can't express it. I can't draw it down right now. I know it's not any of the normal shit. I can't connect with people the same way that would say like Ethan or Cecil. Cecil connect with people. You know, I'm not kind of logical and to the point. We'll say like fucking Abu Naz or Mark with a C, Stephanie Janisek. I'm not in this group at all. Like I watch all of these people. I don't really watch world class bullshitters or John Talks Star Wars or these kind of guys that much. I kind of check in every now and again, but I don't. I'm definitely more inclined to be attracted to the likes of Stephanie, Cecil, Ethan, Abu Naz, Mark with a C, a couple other people like that. Like, to my mind, like Stephanie Janisek, a lot of wisdom. I love the way she puts the music on in her videos. Real, like, almost otherworldly. Like she's definitely like, if there was a Leia, would it for this crew, this little fandom menace crew, she would be it definitely. And like, I don't know, was it like the first or maybe the second video I ever saw by her? I asked her that question in the comments. It didn't take me long at all to kind of form the opinion that that's who she is, you know. Yeah, they like. Oh yeah, Alex Becker. I forgot about Alex Becker. See, he's interesting now. Alex Becker's interesting because he's kind of like, he kind of holds like an orbit. He keeps an orbit that's kind of maybe out around Pluto. He's kind of in, but kind of not. A little more than Grace Randolph. To me, Grace Randolph's in a different clique or a different system. She made didn't really pop in, but she caught their attention, the Phantom Menace's attention with the video that she made about the leak from the secret meeting. So I'm interested in Grace Randolph and Alex Becker because they hold a position on the outer rim, so to speak. The sun is coming back. The sun is back. The sun is back. Because, you see, here's the thing. I'm never going to be in a group. I'm never going to be part of a group. I don't know. And I'm not even going to be like, It's like I'm not even in the same field structure or the same field structure, the same precipitation of field structure as these people are, or as any people. Here's my take. Here's my role as far as I can. Well, I don't know what the fuck my role is, but here's my position. I don't know very much about Star Wars at all. But I know what Star Wars is. I know what's happening. I know what's happening with Disney. I know what's happening, the importance of story. I know about coordinate systems. I know about logics. I know about interpretation. I know about having a totally fucking odd interpretation, kind of a conjugate interpretation to what you might call normal. Or in any way standard. I'm really interested in I'm kind of interested in the Whills. I'm really interested in the Sentinels. Yeah. Talking about some kind of borderline extra dimensional shit. A role perhaps related to that, to First Sentinels. Whatever that means, I have no idea. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing these streams. I'm streaming predominantly, like I said in the last stream here on Twitch. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to structure and restructure and amend the structures of my neurological pathways by vocal propagation and listening to myself and watching sometimes myself on the video in order to close the loop and get feedback, get this feedback oscillation going. It's basically the primary thrust of what I've been doing for the last, pretty much all my life really, but specifically more acutely the last 5 to 10 years on account of basically getting wiped out neurologically by a condition that was diagnosed when I was about 21, so about 16 years ago, as Tourette syndrome. I was initially chalked down as having mild Tourette's by the first consultant I went to see, a neurologist whose name I can't remember, down in Black Rock, South County, Dublin. But then later on, a few years later, that kind of got upgraded to severe Tourette's, severe tics. Like there's a fucking, what is it, a tic severity scale of 10. I might be a little off, but at least qualitatively, if not quantitatively, I remember my neuropsychologist say you're pretty much a fucking 11 on that tic severity scale. You're up there. Now, it is reduced phenomenally. It's not gone. It goes. I enjoy, and I'm fucking blessed and so grateful to fucking be able to enjoy periods of quiescence now. Not only we'll say in terms of tic expression, but electrical pressure, the electrical pressure inside of my system, my nervous system, and a whole bunch of other shit that I'm not going to go into right now because I had a couple of beers. I had a few pints yesterday, and I'm kind of hungover. I'm pretty hungover at the moment, actually. So I'm trying to stay. I don't want to push it. I don't want to push the old executive function too much because the electrical pressure will build up, and I will start to experience electrical transients that result in tic propagation, electrical discharges. So I'm going to stay away from that, and it's rambly. I do a lot of rambling too. But that's just kind of And that's an illustration of, I suppose, the logic that I tend to run. My flux 0 to 1 logic that I run in my brain, in my neurological infrastructure, in my nervous system generally. But that's one of the things. That's one of the things I'm getting to grips with. That's the primary reason, really, as well as an illustration of the fact, we'll say, or the idea that I find it hard to really embed in groups. I mean, when I was in college, like, I've been in groups of friends, all my life, but like a lot of the time, I never really got full contact, with individuals, yeah, and small groups, tightly knit groups of individuals. But over the last few years, when the tics got really bad, I basically it became way too much to handle, managing the information that comes off of the interactions, the information that has to be processed when you're interacting with another human being. A lot of people call this anxiety. There's a few different names for this, but that basically fucked me up. I had to withdraw. I had to pull back, and basically I had to let go of pretty much all my relationships. A lot of good people, a lot of friends, family too, but not really. Like, you see, because family's family. The bonds in my family, they're always going to be there. Whereas I did lose a lot of friends. Maybe I'll get back to them again. Maybe these the strong bonds will be re-expressed, and these old flames will be rekindled. But I had to pull back because the anxiety was a killer. But I'm coming back around again now. So maybe at some point in the future I will be able to. And it's not that I want to be part of a group, we'll say, per se, but it is nice. It is nice, and I'm starting to realize that the interpersonal communication. We are a social species. We are nodes. It's like your microbiomes. You're a colony. You're a super colony of billions or tens of billions or whatever fucking numbers up there of microorganisms and fucking sub microorganisms. That's what you are as a person. You're the aggregate. You're the mass effect of essentially a civilization. That's what you as a human is. Saying, incidentally, I want to make a quick reference to what came out there a couple of weeks ago. Across the fucking trades / shill fucking publications, this and George Lucas's plan for the sequel trilogy. Oh, it's going to be about the fucking midichlorians and the whales. What a bunch of shit. Dudes, I know what you're fucking up to. I know you're too dumb to fucking understand what that means. Number one. And number two, I know what you're up to. I know it's a fucking hit campaign. It's not going to work. By the way, here's my fucking role. I'm on the first Jedi Temple, first harmonic proxy circuit right now. It's the Dingle Peninsula. I'm in the Dingle Diamond, which is a ley line marker infrastructure. This is a harmonic of the Apollo Michael ley line, which runs from Armageddon in Israel, I believe it is. I think there's 12 nodes that runs up through Italy and France, through Greece, Italy, France. Stephanie Yanisek knows the significance of Star Wars. She knows the significance of story. Ethan, he knows. They're like three different perspectives on the same understanding. Now you bind these three perspectives, jump it up a level. I'm not saying that's where I am, but that's the condition I'm interested in. And it's a condition I was basically forced to be interested in pretty much all my life on account of the wayward or kind of funny, fucked up logic that runs through my brain and runs my brain, and that's trying to run on a fucking non-linear system, trying to run a linear approach to life on a non. It was good. It was a good life. Got all the same shit done that most people get done. But if you can imagine, it's like fucking. It was like I was doing it in reverse. You know, fucking tearing down the motorway, or or going down fucking Boreens, back roads in reverse. Or maybe another analogy, it's like putting a fucking tractor on the fucking motorway, and trying to fucking bomb down at 120, 130, 140 kilometers an hour, or putting a fucking sports car into a field. It's like plow the field. Totally inappropriate application, totally inappropriate methodology for interaction. That's me. That's me. And on account of that, and as a driver for that, we're talking correlation here, as well as causality. I'm focused and sharply focused on that place that I would consider to be such that is illustrated by the coming together, the integration, and the mass effect propagation of the three nodes that you may say are represented by Stephanie, Janisek, whatever, Abu Naz, and Ethan Van Sciver. Sorry, Stephanie. I'm still getting used to how pronouncing your surname. I'm just after getting the hang of Ethan Van Sciver's surname. I was calling him Von Schreiber and all sorts of fucking things there for a while. My name is Cian Curran, by the way. The Italians seem to think my name is Chano. Chan. I think it's because it's spelled Cian, and if they see they spell the way they pronounce the arrangement of letters CIAO is Chow. CIAO Chow. So when they see CIAN, it's like Chan. So yeah. As much as I'm mixing up your name, Stephanie, people mix up my name and even my first name. Yeah, that is my first name. Jesus, see, I'm a bit of a looper, but I will, for the purposes of today, I will put that down to being hung over. Okay, we'll stop rambling. So, yeah, that's what I'm interested in. I'm like, I don't know anything about Admiral Akbar. I know he was always fucking getting into traps. I don't know anything about Leia. I don't know anything about I don't know backstories about it. And I don't remember the story arcs or character development arcs from the OT, from the prequels. I don't know. I don't remember any of that shit. That's all work and research I need to do. I did see the movies multiple times. Not huge multiple. Maybe you count them on the amount of times I've seen each of the OT, maybe on one hand. But I'm here to learn. And I am down here. I am down here in Dingle, outside Dingle. This is where they filmed The Last Jedi. This is where Rian Johnson directed that fucking toss the lightsaber over your shoulder scene. I did see Luke and Rey, I think, pretty sure, through binoculars on the last day of filming of The Last Jedi. I did see the rig that was erected to the right of Count Chabale, to the east of Count Chabale, as you run up towards the Three Sisters. I didn't know what they were doing. I saw the rig, I saw the lights, and then it was a good while after I seen the movie. It fucking dawned on me that was the Force projection scene. And I didn't just see that. I saw that from my front door through a pair of fucking medium power binoculars. That's me. That's where I am. That's my engagement with this this world. One of the primary reasons that I'm interested in Star Wars right now is because it basically it's like a fucking tweet I have in store. I was chatting to some dudes on fucking Twitter the last day, talking about Empire. This is where fucking this is where Disney Empire basically did the fucking dirty and fucking came to die. And I was here and I was spying on you motherfuckers. And I'm still here, and it's you filmed on my family land, like my cousin's land, not my land, but my second cousin. You took that temple up on Skellig Hill, aka Skellig Michael. You replicated it. You built a replica. Uncountable. I can't see it now because the clouds are rolled in, but basically fucking move this jib up here. I'm trying to eat an apple, but I'm talking so much you can't see through this anyway, but you would be able to see ordinarily. You'd be able to see out there, out the fucking window over here, but the clouds have rolled in and whitewash, bleached, blanked out the whole fucking landscape. But yeah, you basically what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna have to move this. My battery power is going down. I'm gonna have to move this phone over here so I can charge it. Studio, by the way, is a fucking mess. I'm trying to fucking clean it up, but I've been doing so much watching videos recently because I need to learn from these people that I haven't gotten around to cleaning the damn place. But I will. See, what I'm doing is I'm building a fucking Twitch studio. I'm trying to figure out my setup, so to speak. Not so to speak at all, but like real, for real. And I'm not so sure what my approach is. So I've checked myself into the Abu Naz rehabilitation to try and figure out what the fuck is going on. What is my angle of attack? And as per the title of this stream, what is my role? Know your role. I'm trying to figure out what my role is. So that is why this place is a fucking dump. I'm living in a dump right now. But it will not be a dump for too much longer. I will figure this out. And these streams to 0 viewers are part of that process. Now, where was I? Yeah, my position, my proximity to First Jedi Temple on the first harmonic proxy circuit, which is a term, a concept I made up myself, kind of defines my role and inspires my role. Basically, I was down here. Because of the problems I was having with my nervous system, I basically started. This is where my family's from, basically, right? My father's side of the family's from here. Like, here in this part of the peninsula, we go back like 10 generations, according to my cousin, my first cousin. So this is family, right? This is fucking heritage. This is lineage. This is DNA. This is land. And fucking historically, land in the Irish, you know, you don't fuck with people's land in Ireland. Ryan Johnson et al. You kind of fucked up. Having said that though, I've got two seemingly contradictory opinions on The Last Jedi. And it is, if you understand how not to get caught up in cognitive dissonance, it's a viable position to have, and it's a position that I'm trying to parse and figure out the moment. And if and when I do, it's going to get me across the gap to a next level understanding of what the fuck is going on here. The Last Jedi, I think, was a genius. It was a genius production as an operation, if you will, as a psyop. It's not. I don't really class it as a psyop. I think psyop has kind of fucking connotations. It's not really the way I look at it, because I don't. I don't think it was done on purpose. I don't think. I think this shit happened as an upshot, as an aggregate response to a network effect. I don't think fucking Kathleen Kennedy, Ryan Johnson, Bob Iger, any of these boys did it on purpose or necessarily knew what they were doing. I think, like I said in my last stream, these people just basically, by virtue of who they are and were, and you know what the lives they lived and the positions they found themselves in, they found themselves being the conduits for the various strands required to weave a certain stream that rendered The Last Jedi. It was a controlled demolition, controlled probably most likely by the mass effect condition that we might call the Force, that George Lucas called the Force. It's a rebirth condition. It's a phoenix. It's a total destruction and rebirth. How fitting that it would happen down here. How fitting that it would happen at basically in the span between the Iver Peninsula and Dingle Peninsula, Skellig Vaheel, First Jedi Temple, and the remix or the replica of First Jedi Temple and Kion Trevel up in the Dingle Peninsula. The span geographically, energetically, and across two movies and across time. What was it, a year, 2 years? What the fucking, whatever the gap was. A lot of people aren't going to fucking understand what I'm talking about, and that's fine, because this is not... You have to go to the kind of consciousness community. Pop in fucking Jordan Sater and Alexis Book and fucking Kelly Lamb and Linda West and a whole bunch of these kind of people to understand my position on this here. This is not Star Wars talk. This is not... Stephanie Janicek. Yeah, I reckon she definitely has a capacity for this, to be able to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Whether she has the tendency or the propensity, I do not know. And then the rest of the boys, Abu Naz, Alex Becker, like I said, Cecil, and what's his name? Ethan Van Skyer. These kind of boys. Oh yes, my interest. Yeah, back to my interest. Number one, you piqued my interest when Disney, when you chose this place to relaunch the Star Wars franchise by starting up the sequel trilogy. You caught me at a very particular, perhaps fortunate, perhaps unfortunate point in my life when I was really getting down. I mean, you talk about the fucking Abu Naz's rehabilitation center. I'm setting up a trauma circuit down there for trauma conversion, because basically my Tourette syndrome, my nervous fuck ups, to the best of my understanding, it comes off the back of trauma, consistently, constantly, persistently rendered genetic based trauma. Tourette syndrome is considered scientifically and medically to be a genetic condition. It is also considered to be perigenetic, and it is also considered to be epigenetic. So we'll take those three nodes, three different expressions of the concept of what comes out of genes, gene modulation and chromosomes, DNA. I needed to convert on this trauma. And it's funny, Kelly Lamb actually made she streamed there yesterday on her lunch break about this same fucking topic. I love that girl. I don't know her. I never fucking talked to her. She's like an angel. Like she's something. She's someone you have to check her out. Like yeah, I was down here doing going deep, deep. In on trauma conversion on the Dingle Peninsula when Disney decided to fucking film Episode 8, The Last Jedi here. So not only did you land on my family land, my second cousin's land, not only did you bring one of the most fantastically, amazingly beloved franchises from my childhood, although I have to say, full disclosure, I was in secondary school. I was much more interested in Star Trek, particularly The Last Generation. I'm not a Trekkie because although I did watch a little bit of Deep Space Nine, I never watched the original fucking series really. It was just The Next Generation. I mean, when I was in secondary school, I was watching that. So that's high school for the Americans. But Star Wars as a kid. This is the way I viewed Star Wars and Star Trek. To me, both massive, because like space, my interest, probably the primary interest, stream and dynamic of my life is space. The space environment, anything to do with space. Astronautics, fucking astronomy, the whole fucking shebang. I did a master's at the International Space University back in 2008, 2009. I interned at a Japanese JSPEC, Japanese Space Exploration Center. I did the SSP, the Summer Studies program, back when it was called that, in 2007 in Beihang University, Beijing, out of ISU, out of the International Space University. I'm not an engineer, I'm an architect by education, not really by trade, because I only ever worked 18 months post-grad in architecture, basically on account of my nervous system basically just crapping out and going down. But space is my thing. As Donald Trump, as President Trump says, space is the place. No, there's no place like space. Anyway, fucking, we'll get on to space again. But and imagination, key, absolutely fucking key with me, 100%, 110%. That is something, again, I will talk about at a later time. I've talked about this on my Twitch streams multiple times. But when like, so space is really, I'll just show you where I am with my apple. Carried over the mark with this. Juicy. Come on, 9 seconds left. All right. Bye-bye. Laters. 2, 1, boom. 1 hour.